In today's class, we will continue to discuss the remaining elements that constitutes the scope of marketing. And the first in today's list is places. So places includes cities, towns, places of historic importance, monuments, business hubs. So all this constitutes places. And these places can also be marketed. But of course, the most popular of all this is the tourism because tourism plays an extremely important role in our life. And all of us do take up tourism for various reasons. But if you have to classify as to what are the reasons why people take up tourism, as to why people travel, so there are various reasons from the Indian context, from the Indian perspective. So first, India being the land of cultures, the land of traditions, the land of customs, India has so many different religions. Some of the religions were born in India. So in all the religions, whether you're a follower of Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, Buddhism, Christianity, there is a significant importance given to visiting of holy places. So every religion has certain designated sites which is considered to be the holy places where the origin of the religion has taken place or some other significant religious event has held, or probably it's the resting place of the major religious leaders. So visiting different places from the perspective of culture, religion is called Tirthatana, which is a Sanskrit word. And this basically means tourism for the purpose of religious obligations. So this is the most common form of tourism which we do find in India. And this is one of the major reasons as to why people travel. The second is Paryatana. Now, Paryatana means tourism undertaken for the sake of leisure, entertainment, pleasure, and of course, you also travel places to seek knowledge because every place has its own culture, its own traditions, its own unique landscape, geographical conditions, climatic conditions that you want to study all this. So if you are taking up tourism for these reasons, for the sake of leisure, for the sake of knowledge, then it is called Paryatana. So this is also a very popular reason for visiting places. And the third one is called Deshatana. Now, Deshatana is from the perspective of business with an objective of making profits. So if you're traveling for the sake of business, of course, there is an element of profit involved in it. You want to go there for your economic gains, directly or indirectly. So that's also one of the reasons as to why people visit different places. So in order to attract people, no matter whatever might be the reason. And this is not the comprehensive list. What you see here, Tirthatana, Paryatana, and Deshatana. This is not the comprehensive list. Of course, there are so many other things which have also come into picture. Health tourism is also another popular form of tourism which is emerging, especially in a country like India. Even though for us, we know that our healthcare system is not technically very strong in terms of infrastructure, in terms of accessibility, but still, it is far more superior compared to some of our neighboring countries. And in terms of cost, even though we might feel that the cost of healthcare services is quite expensive, especially in private hospitals, but for foreign tourists, what seems to be quite expensive for us is relatively very, very cheap for them. Because if they obtain the same kind of medical facilities and healthcare services, it costs a lot of money in their countries. And another reason is that some of the people who come here for seeking healthcare services do not find similar kind of services in their particular country. They don't have the facilities, they don't have the infrastructure. So obviously they don't have an option but to come to a place like India where you have affordable healthcare system for them. So health tourism, of course, it's not covered in this. So that's also there. Education tourism, India is also a hub for education, especially people from underdeveloped countries uh, do plan to study in India because of its affordability. And of course, the quality of education is also decent. And especially Bangalore is the hub for education in India. So you do find a lot of students who come from various backgrounds, from various countries studying with you. So education tourism is also there. So various reasons are there as to why people do take up tourism. So this can be perceived as an opportunity, and this can be converted into a product. So when we say tourism, in order to fulfill the needs of the people, you need to develop a product which caters to their needs, right? For example, if somebody is going for a pilgrimage, so you need to, as a marketer, you need to design a tour package which includes everything: accommodation, food, transport, travel, recreation, visiting of holy places, guidance, knowledge. Everything should be combined. So that is where the product becomes effective, and you can cater to the need of the people who are taking any of these kind of tourism activity. And as you know, some of the countries heavily rely on tourism as the source of their income itself. Even though India has a lot of potential of becoming one of the major tourist destinations in the world, unfortunately, our infrastructure, connectivity, and to some extent, law and order issues are also there. So these are the factors which are pushing us back. Otherwise, definitely India as a country has a lot of potential, because the kind of geographic landscapes what we have, the kind of different weather conditions what we have spread across India, the kind of natural resources we have, natural wonders we have. Of course, also have one of the seven wonders of the world, but of course we also have natural wonders. Country with such a rich cultural heritage, with such a depth, historic background. So India has definitely potential to become a global tourist destination. But as I said, unfortunately, there are major limitations, and one of the biggest challenges is the infrastructure, which is quite inadequate for us to promote tourism. On the other hand, there are countries like Malaysia, which heavily relies on tourism industry for its GDP, for employment of its citizens. You have countries like Maldives, which is totally dependent on tourism. You have country like Dubai, which is again one of the popular tourist destination. So tourism as a product has a lot of potential, and given the right kind of marketing effects, the kind of marketing efforts, you apply the right type of marketing efforts, definitely it can generate huge amount of revenue. It has a lot of potential. Now, this might look like a familiar picture to you. Now, this is the Mecca city, popular tourism destination for all the followers of Islam. Now, this city has a population of 2 million, but during the pilgrimage season, the number of people who visit increases, and the city's population touches as much as 6 million. So imagine an additional of 4 million people are visiting the city during a particular season of pilgrimage. And there is so much of potential, so much of business opportunity for the marketers there in Mecca city, whether it is providing them with accommodation facilities, whether it is providing them with transportation, travel services, financial services. So that creates a huge potential. So as a marketer, you should capitalize on such opportunities and develop the right product. Now, when you look at the top 10 tourism destination in the world, of course, France stands out. It is the world's most popular and most visited country in the world. So a lot of European countries you will find here, because Europe is known for its natural wonders. Of course, you also have 7 out of 7 wonders. There are a lot of wonders of the world located in Europe. And of course, the kind of infrastructure what they have. So all this has enabled them to become major tourist destination. So the bottom line is, place can also be marketed. Next comes property. Now, property in simple sense is anything that is owned by a person or an individual, or it can be an entity. Anything which is owned by an individual or a company or a partnership firm is referred to as property. So in order to buy and sell these properties, also marketing is required. So generally, when you think of property, what comes immediately to your mind is buildings, bungalows, apartments, luxurious villas. So these are real estate properties, but when we say property from the perspective of marketing, it is not just limited to real estate properties. It also includes your financial assets. It also includes intellectual property, because it is not just the it is not just the real estate that can be marketed, but other forms of properties can also be marketed. Now let's begin with financial properties. Financial property basically includes all your financial instruments, all your major financial services like insurance, right? So these financial property also caters to our different needs, right? So for safety needs, Maslow has given his need hierarchy theory, in which he says that first comes your physiological needs, then comes your safety needs, right? So why do we invest in financial properties? The answer is, of course, you want to make money, you want to become rich, and you also want to ensure safety of your safety of your loved ones, and you also want to secure your future. So these are the reasons why you want to invest in financial properties. And that's another reason why financial services industry has grown leaps and bounds, because people now have employment, people have job. So, and most of the people, especially a country like India, wherein we are more aligned to thinking towards our future, definitely India is an emerging destination for investments for all financial products and services. So people do invest in financial assets like shares, debentures, mutual funds, insurance, derivatives, bitcoins. So all these are various financial instruments, and the objective of investing in these financial instruments differs. So as a marketer, you need to identify what's the need. Different people invest for different objectives. And there are people who want to invest in stock market, but unfortunately they don't have any knowledge of stock market. They have money, but they don't have the knowledge. For them, what kind of product is available in the market? For them, we have mutual funds. So mutual funds, what happens? You give your money to mutual fund company, and on your behalf, experts known as fund managers, they will invest your money in the stock markets, and they will make money out of your money. So this is for those people who don't know to invest, who don't have knowledge. So you see, various financial instruments and products are available so that it caters to the need of different types of customers, different types of investors. So even financial instruments, financial products are marketed. And insurance policies, health insurance policies, all these are part of your financial properties. Then comes your intellectual property. So intellectual property is created by applying knowledge, by applying skills, by applying expertise. You create intellectual property. So intellectual property can be a formula, it can be a trademark, it can be a copyright. So all this constitutes intellectual property which cannot be copied because it is protected under the copyright law. So intellectual property can also be artistic work. So it can be an art, it can be literature, a book, a story, a poem, a movie script, a song, music, right? All this constitutes intellectual property. And that's what people do. The moment they create something unique, different, they immediately go for protecting the asset under copyright law so that nobody copies it. And they leverage that asset to generate revenue in the form of royalty. Imagine who would have created the format of Bigg Boss, which is now being broadcasted in so many different countries in the world. The original creator of the format gets royalty. So whether it is Bigg Boss in India or whether it is Bigg Boss in China, Bigg Boss in UK, wherever the show is being broadcasted, wherever the show is being produced, the producer of the show has to pay revenue to the creator, the original, the person who created the format, right? So these are the format of the show itself is an intellectual property which is registered, right? Likewise, you have so many TV shows. What you see on the television, KBC, Kaun Banega Crorepati, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which is also a show which is being used in India under a licensing agreement. So it is created by somebody in US, and that person became rich overnight because his format became so popular that it is being telecasted by different TV channels, by different production houses in different parts of the world, who end up paying huge amount of royalty to this guy who has created this format called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Likewise, you have American Idol, Indian Idols. All these are formats which are being created and made into an intellectual property. So whenever a particular channel wants to use any of these show formats, they have to end up paying huge amount of royalty to the creator. So you can use intellectual properties with the help of a licensing agreement. So you have to acquire the license in order to use the property. So for this, we have licensing agreement. So even intellectual properties can also be marketed, which means that after you create a kind of an intellectual property, so you have the leverage of allowing others to use it under license, for which you get paid good amount of royalty. Then of course, real estate is another area where again you need to take up aggressive marketing campaigns to promote different forms of properties. Dubai is not just known for tourism, but it is also known for real estate, right? So Dubai is a popular destination for all celebrities, to have a house in Dubai, right? Because it's such a popular expenditure, it comes with a premium price tag, and of course that premium price tag also constitutes your social. It signifies your social status. If you say that you have a house in Dubai, then it obviously represents the kind of social status what you carry. So that is also a kind of marketing effort which Dubai has done, because Dubai has not created affordable real estate, because they know that their target customers are not everybody, right? Not just normal rich people, but they want to target the celebrities. So they have designed their marketing campaign in such a way that they want to segment and their target customer is totally different. So real estate can also be marketed just like any other properties. Then you have organizations. Now there's a difference between products and organizations. So they are two different entities. Organization represents the enterprise, and this enterprise makes different products and services. So usually any organization uses marketing to promote its products and services. But what about the organization itself? So some of the organizations have also realized that it's not just promoting product and services, but also it is very important to establish a very positive brand image in the mind of public. Because by establishing a good brand image, what happens is you're trying to create reputation, you're trying to create goodwill. And in the near future, no matter what kind of business you do, what kind of products you launch, definitely people will have a positive opinion about your company. So therefore, when we say organizations can be marketed, in organization marketing, the objective is to establish a sound and positive image in the minds of the public, because positive image can definitely build brands, organizations' goodwill, and in the near future, it will definitely help the organization. Now, even though you people consume various products of Tata, right? So, but when you do an evaluation of Tata as a brand, definitely Tata as a brand has earned a lot of respect, and definitely it has a positive image. When we do a comparison between Tata and Reliance, of course, people perceive Tata to be more ethical, more value driven in comparison with Reliance. So no matter what kind of product Tata launches in the future, people will close their eyes and blindly buy it, because they trust the organization, they trust the leadership. So that's what organization marketing is all about. It's about brand building, it's about earning the loyalty and trust of people, right? So in order to do this, organization do take up a lot of activities. A lot of CSR activities are undertaken. A lot of money is spent on public relation. And apart from CSR and public relation, organizations also try to communicate what they stand for using their taglines. At times, taglines do help to create that identity. It also represents what the organization is striving for. So when we say Intel, their tagline is sponsors of tomorrow, which represents that they are a company that believes in innovations, that believes in investing in the future technology. Now, HSBC always tries to portray itself as the world's local bank because of its presence, because of its worldwide presence, and because of not just worldwide presence, because of its understanding of the local markets. So HSBC tries portraying itself as a world's local bank and tries justifying that by saying two things. One, we are present everywhere. Second, we perceive every market as unique, and we offer unique products to each and every market, which is designed to cater to the needs of the local customers. And we have better understanding of every market. So if you're an American, you want to open a bank account in India, HSBC has better understanding of Indian markets and it has a presence in India. So that's what most of the organizations, they try to do. They try to communicate about what the organization stands for with the help of this identity slogans, also known as taglines. So this is how organizations also market themselves. Now, what else can be marketed? The last one is something which is quite interesting. In fact, we have two more concepts. One is ideas and the other one is information. So what exactly is an idea, right? So the image what you see on your screen, what does it depict? You have a lady here who does not have legs. Her body is merged with a table. So what kind of an idea is this image promoting? What is your understanding and what is your interpretation of this image? Now, this image represents obesity. This image represents obesity. So basically, it's an image which is communicating you that the more weight you add, you become helpless. It becomes difficult for you to move from one place to another place. When you sit, it's difficult for you to get up. When you stand, it's difficult for you to sit. So therefore, the image gives you an idea that if you continue to add on weight, life becomes quite difficult. So that's the idea. And this idea becomes a foundation to promote products and services. So idea is the basic foundation. Unless you don't get your idea correct, it's quite difficult to communicate about your product and services to the target customers. So first get your idea correct, right? So this image communicates that idea precisely. Now, this image has both. It has the product also. This is an advertisement of Panasonic nose or nostrils trimmer. There are people who have this. It all depends on our hormones. The hair growth is purely depending on the factors like hereditary, the hormones. So some people do have long hair coming out of their nose, which can be easily visible. So Panasonic is trying to embarrass people by putting out this poster saying that this is how you look, right? You look very ugly when people see the hair inside your nose. So please trim it, right? Nose hair trimmer. So it is promoting an idea and it is also justifying that the solution is Panasonic hair trimmer. So there has to be an idea. Ultimately, it is the idea that has to be communicated, that has to be marketed, right? So product comes at a later stage. So idea communication, idea marketing is at the forefront. Now this is an image which is used by Bangalore Traffic Police. Now you don't have to, right? Even though it says don't talk while he drives. Even if it is not mentioned, also people will make out. You look at the elements in the picture. You have a housewife. She's in the kitchen. She's cooking. She would have probably called her husband to find out when are you coming, at what time are you coming, what is that you want to eat, what should I prepare, and it is trying to communicate an idea to the people, to the citizens that please don't talk when somebody is driving, or please don't use mobile phones while driving. It is not selling any product or service here, but the whole purpose is to communicate the idea of driving safely and not using the mobile phone at the time of driving. So can ideas be marketed? The answer is yes. In fact, products and services offered by marketers are derived from an idea. So idea is actually the core of any product and service. So ideas can also be marketed. All right. So not just product and service, as I said, every idea does not result in product or a service, but it also gives you a message, right? Political parties also use ideas before they start their political campaign. Donald Trump's idea of campaigning was simple: let's make America great again. So this slogan, let's make America great again, is an idea which communicates to the people that America, which once upon a time was a great economic superpower, has lost its charm for various reasons. Our economic indicators show that we are doing terribly bad. So let's bring back America to power. Let's make America superpower again. So let's make America great again. That's the idea. That's the idea for which people vote. Sometimes people don't vote for the candidate. Donald Trump as a candidate, you know how he is, right? So what people did was people voted for the idea of making America great again. This is how you market the ideas. Ideas can do wonders. Sometimes people buy and people endorse ideas, right? So it becomes a very interesting weapon to target the audience. So if you have a solid idea behind the concept which you're trying to market, political parties try to market their party, their candidate. But if they have a solid idea behind it, it's very easy to get the voters. Similarly, companies market their products and services. If they have a solid idea behind it, a solid rationality behind it, it is very easy to market. Bangalore Traffic Police is trying to communicate a message, and the message is well communicated when there is an idea behind it. So idea can also be marketed. Now, what about information? Now, information is key for anything we do in our life. Even for small routine decisions, we seek information, right? We take our day-to-day decisions, whether they are routine or whether they are lifetime decisions, based on information. So information has become one of the foundations to take all decisions, whether big or small, right? If you're planning to buy a mobile phone, your decision to buy that particular brand of mobile phone is backed by your own information, which you have gathered through some sort of basic research. It is buying washing machine, whether it is buying a mobile phone, whether it is joining a particular course, you gather information. Whether it is joining a particular college, you gather information. So you have your own channel of gathering information, and luckily your generation has access to internet. So there is plenty of information available on internet for whatever you want to get the data on. So if you want to select best college in Bangalore, you can do research. You can find out from internet sources, from social media, which is the best one. You can go and read the Google reviews, right? You can watch videos on YouTube, and then you can come to a conclusion. Whether it is a company or whether it is an individual, what has happened is information has become key for us to make decisions in our life. So why not market information? Somebody who wants to get married, right? Marriage is a decision that is primarily taken on the basis of available information. So information about the bride, information about the groom, information about their profession, personal information, family information, professional information, background checks, all this data is required to take decision. So let me start a matrimony website that will give you all the inputs. Personal information, professional information, family background, right? All this will give you information that will help you to decide, that will help you to take an important decision. So matrimonial websites, how do they make money? They market information, and that's how they survive. You also would have heard of a company called Just Dial. Now, Just Dial is a local search engine that has information about all the businesses. So you have to list your business on Just Dial. So the moment you list your business on Just Dial will have comprehensive information about your company. What is that you sell? What is the price? What are the products you offer? So whenever a customer calls up that I need a certain product, Just Dial provides that information to the customers. And that is how customers get to contact businesses, and businesses make money. So what does Just Dial get? Just Dial gets commission. So whenever you list your business on Just Dial, you have to pay for them for listing your business on Just Dial. So Just Dial gives comprehensive information. It's like a local search engine. It's like Google, right? So similarly in Google also, if you, let's say, the moment you go and type in Google best top 10 colleges in Bangalore, you would come across some weird colleges, some colleges whose names you have never heard of also showing up under top 10 colleges. That's because Google has its own algorithms. If you pay money to Google, right, Google will display your information. So there are Google ads, and then you also have the concept of search engine optimization, which optimizes the results and displays your brand name there. Right. So if you want your brand name to be displayed first, you have to pay for it. So how does Google makes money? Google makes most of their money through ads, right? So it has such a powerful search engine in the world that nobody is able to compete with their algorithm, the search algorithm what they have. So therefore, Google makes money primarily through information. Likewise, you also have something which most of us have on our mobile phones, Truecaller. So Truecaller, how does Truecaller makes money? So there are different ways Truecallers make money. First of all, it gathers information free of cost. You download Truecaller app, you key in your name, your mobile number, that's it, saved. So now Truecaller has all your data free of cost available. So what Truecaller does is Truecaller first source of earning revenue is through advertisements. Second source of earning revenue is also through B2B services. So let's say I'm Flipkart and my executive will call you. But you will think, okay, so some junk number, some spam number, so let me reject it. So like this, Flipkart will not be able to reach you. So what Flipkart does, it opens a premium account with Truecaller and it pays Truecaller. So what Truecaller does, all the numbers of Flipkart will now not be displayed in red color, but it will be displayed as priority call. You are getting an important call from Flipkart and you will not reject it because you know that, okay, you have booked some order and somebody is calling from you there, right? So this is also another platform through which Just Dial makes a lot of money. So just think about the revenue model. Somebody would have thought, okay, people always want to know who's calling, and they could have created this database. Now this database, which has information of almost all the numbers, has now turned out to be such a big business opportunity. So can information be marketed? The answer to this question is yes, definitely information can also be marketed. So this is what constitutes the scope of marketing. So all this can be marketed.